Hey, this is Never Easy, and this is the Anything and Everything podcast, and this is Chioma.
Hey, this is Allie. So today we're going to be talking about our favorite shows that we watch. We have a lot, but we thought we'd share them with you guys and see if you guys like them as well. Or maybe we can give you new ideas to watch.
Yeah, or maybe we could make you come over to our side of things. Because there's some shows that people like and ones that they don't like. So maybe after we talk about some of our favorite shows, it'll make you all curious to watch them.
Or leave comments on what shows you guys watch. Maybe we missed some, and maybe we can start shows that you guys like as well.
Yeah, because there's so many shows out there. People will ask me about shows, and I'm like, I've never heard of that before. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about?
I always try and recommend shows to people, too. But I guess I'll start. So one of my favorite shows that I've watched probably since high school, because that's when I officially started it from start to finish, is Grey's Anatomy.
Oh my goodness. I have something to say about that.
Uh-oh. I hope it's a good thing.
It's not a negative thing.
Okay, good.
And I'm going to let you get into why you love it so much. But I had heard about that show for so long. And I was like, I don't want to watch it. It's
still running, by the way.
Yeah, for like 1,000 years. Mm-hmm. Basically, I don't like things that are hyped up because I'm just a weirdo. Mm-hmm. And so I had never watched it. But one of our friends came to visit. Shout out to Kiana. And she was watching it, season 5.
Oh, that's right. I remember when she kept watching it.
Yeah. And I was watching it with her because she took over my TV. And I liked it. So I started watching it from season 5. And I still felt like I knew about everything, even though I was 5 seasons in. Mm-hmm. That's 5 years into the show. Yeah. And, oh my goodness. But you tell me about it because you've watched it. You've been watching it for years.
I don't know. I just love it. I get, invested in the characters, I guess. So that's part of it. Just the character development of everything. I don't know. I just really like the storyline, and not everything about Grey's Anatomy is amazing because obviously a lot of people die.
I was gonna say that they kill off everyone. There was no reason to be killing off everyone that anybody cares about.
I know, but what I will say is at least in the last couple years, the way that she has been writing these scripts is all about current issues. So
was it
I
one
really
person
respect
writing, or
her
do they have
for
a team of writers?
I think. Well, it's Sean. Oh my gosh!
Isn't she the producer? She produces the show. Does she write the script? What's her name?
I'm gonna look it up.
Shonda.
It's Shonda. I need to know what it is.
Well, while you're searching, yeah, I noticed while I was watching, I was getting so emotional because they just kill people. They kill people. Yeah. And I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, Shonda Rhimes.
Wow. Oh, a black woman. Mm-hmm. Power. Okay, we got it. Yeah, she kills off everybody.
To create and executive produce. Oh no, 10.
Yo, so
so she is.
She's producing, but there's also writers.
Produce the top 10 of Grey's Anatomy. Yeah.
That means there's writers on shows who write the scripts and stuff like that, but she produces.
But still, she's still creating and stuff. But anyways, so I think that's another reason on top of the storyline and all of that, especially the last few years, she has really been on top of what is going on in the world and portraying that through the show.
I would love to see the behind the scenes of shows and the thought process that it goes behind.
This last one, it was about, I think, well, I don't want to give any spoilers, but I'll give a few episodes ago, just in case anyone's up to date. But basically, one of the main characters, someone, a kid came in with cancer, yada yada, the whole story, but the kid didn't have insurance because she was from a different country. Mm-hmm. And so basically the doctor, she's like, I'm still going to do this surgery because otherwise this child's going to die. Mm-hmm. And so she used her own child's insurance in order to use...
Wow.
So obviously it was fraud and all this stuff. But then it all came out and now she's doing community service and she might get her license taken away. All this other stuff. But it was it was crazy to me that this really does happen. Yeah. Maybe not to say that the doctor would, use their own children's insurance in order to help another child, but it does happen where because people don't have insurance because they're not from this country or because whatever the case is,
I mean, not to get political, but I think everything that has to do with our lives is political,
Yeah.
It makes you think about the whole healthcare thing when people talk about that. And, it's controversial, but honestly, so being taken care of when it comes to health-wise should just be something that's easy access that everyone can do. And I know people like to argue about that, which sometimes doesn't make sense. A lot of it has to do with money,
and taxes.
But everyone as a human being in a country should be able to just go and get taken care of.
Be like Australia, be like Sweden, be like all these other countries that function well. And they have universal health care.
They figured it out. They're different than us in a lot of ways, but they figured it out.
I think it's in Australia, because I've had family members that live there and stuff. And, you pay through your taxes and all this other stuff for everyone to have health care. But say if, you go to the doctor and you want your own room, then you pay extra for that. Yeah. So it's up to you. But in general, everyone's going to be able to have that care. And I think that is amazing.
Yeah. Some people are always mad about their money going to help others. Mm-hmm. And that's something personal they need to deal with. And maybe they don't think that that's an issue. Mm-hmm. But if you're a human being and you're mad that your tax is going to go help someone go to the doctor, self-reflect. I'm just going to say that. And it's controversial, but, self-reflect. But,
because I know everyone's going to say, well, everyone cheats the system. And yes, there are people that cheat the system. Yeah. But it's not everyone.
Exactly. Exception doesn't make the rule. To slide on into one of my shows and keeping it medical, The Good Doctor.
I tried. I really tried.
Y'all obviously didn't try hard enough, because that show
maybe
is so
should give
amazing.
It a chance.
You should. That is one of my favorite shows, and it is now on season 3, if I'm correct.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
it was that long ago that it started. Yeah.
Yeah. And it takes place in San Jose, California.
Oh, that's right.
San Jose Bonaventure, which doesn't exist. But it's cool because there was an episode where I saw VTA and I was like, hey, that's VTA. Or, San Jose type stuff. Sometimes, if it's an overhead scene, I try to find San Jose State.
Oh, how funny.
And see if it's there. Yeah.
So it's one of the things you can see.
Yeah. But I love The Good Doctor because Sean Murphy, he has autism. Mm-hmm. He's autistic, and he has savant syndrome. Mm-hmm. Which I don't technically know if the savant is on the spectrum of autism, but he is autistic and he has savants. And he is not your typical doctor that you see. Sean doesn't make eye contact. Mm-hmm. Sean sometimes stutters when he's talking. He sometimes gets irritated quickly about stuff like that. He has his little quirks. And he's just a great, great doctor. He's just so awesome. I love that show. The fact that it takes place in San Jose is amazing. And it's the actor, I can't remember his name, but it's the actor that he was in Bates Motel. Oh, and he was also with Spiderwick Chronicles, and he was Charlie from, I think it was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Because there's a Willy Wonka and there's a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah. Charlie. And he's the little boy. And everybody knows him as Norman Bates, but I'm like, oh, I know him from all this other stuff, but he is Sean Murphy. And his acting is amazing, because he does the role, but he does it with respect, not disrespect, but he's so well, because when you look at him, he doesn't have those personality traits or characteristic traits, but his actor is so, and to have to act and not make eye contact with people in the way you talk and everything like that, oh my goodness, that show is just great.
I just looked up his name. It's Freddie Highmore. Highmore?
Yeah. And that's a show that me and my significant other love to watch too. Mm-hmm. And then that's a Hulu show. So what's another show on Hulu you like?
I did watch speaking of medical shows, I did watch New Amsterdam for a little while. It was really good. I kind of fell off the last season, but I'm willing to go back again. Another show I watch also on Hulu that I'm in love with is 911. Oh my goodness. Yes. It is a show that has so much twists and turns you just don't even know. I think the last show that I watched, it was a tsunami. It's just all these different random emergencies and natural disasters that really could happen because it is based in LA. Mm-hmm. And things like that.
So it all takes place in Los Angeles, or does it take place in different places?
It's in Los Angeles, but they get we get all different perspectives. So there's a character that is the firefighter squad, and then with the paramedics, and then that person has a sister, and that sister is a 911 operator, and then the firefighter is married to an LAPD. It's just everyone's intertwined, so you get to see all the different perspectives of whether it's fireman, whether it's the 911 operator, all that stuff. So it depends on what the emergency is, basically. But every episode starts with the 911 call of what's going on. That reminds me and it's different scenarios.
That reminds me of Blue Bloods, which was on Ion Television, and it had Danny Wahlberg. Yes, love him. And the whole family was in law. The sister was an attorney. The dad was the chief.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's called, not chief of the police, but he was the police commissioner.
Oh, okay.
Danny was on the force. His brother was on the force. Mm-hmm. And I loved that show. It was like my police show that I liked, you know, that I was always into. And I loved Ion, because Criminal Minds would come on there too, and everything. But my other Hulu show I like is, people who know me, you know I love The Handmaid's Tale. No one can tell me anything bad about The Handmaid's Tale, okay? It has, I believe, 3 seasons. Let me Google real quick. I don't want to be a liar. But Ali, while I'm looking it up, tell the people how you feel about The Handmaid's Tale.
So, not have to, but in one of my classes this last semester, I had to read a book, and I chose to read The Handmaid's Tale, because the class was femininities and masculinities of sociology. So it was a lot. So I read the book, and that was enough for me. I didn't feel like I needed to watch the show, because for me, watching people being in that mindset and being tortured in so many ways just isn't... I don't personally want to watch that.
Well, people listening out there, this is a case of someone judging a book before they open the front cover of the book. Hey,
I read the book. So you can't tell me.
I'm making an example by saying judging a book by its cover. The Handmaid's Tale is so well done. The cinematography, the acting, the script, the storylines, it's so good. And Ali thinks it's just some horribleness. I mean, it is very, very sad and stressful at times. But it's not just all craziness. It's so good. And that show is I think every episode is 45 minutes, an hour long. So I really have to mentally prepare myself for each episode. This past season, because it has 3 seasons, so I did my little research. And I've seen all the way every episode from the first one to the most recent. And this one, I really didn't have to really prepare myself much emotionally for, but in the beginning, I did. I had to shut everything off, prepare myself. Okay, you're about to get mad. A little bit here and there. And it's so good, and I wrote an article about it for the Spartan Daily, and it was basically talking about, I think, season 2, and I gave it a recap of season 1, and then I talked about, I think, the first 2 episodes of season 2 about it, and it's so good, and it's just, that show was a show, like that and The Good Doctor are shows that I've seen them from the beginning, and they just started, but now, for The Handmaid's Tale, it's been on 3 years now. And The Good Doctor, I think 3 years now. It's in season 3, so that's great. And I look forward to them. So when I watch every episode, and I'm like, oh man, because Hulu does every week, you get it.
Yeah.
And so those are the ones I look forward to, where I'm like, oh yeah, The Handmaid's Tale's back. I'm ready for it. And if I write an article about it, I'm passionate about it. So I love that show.
That's true.
Okay.
That makes me think of other passionate shows that I am passionate about.
It better not be what I think it is.
So, there's a few, but one of them is This Is Us.
Oh, okay.
That show is just phenomenal. It's amazing. I love, the emotional attachment that I have to every character. Some of them make me annoyed. Some of them make me happy. It just depends on, what the scene is. But what I love about that show is, you don't know what's coming next, per se. Most shows that you watch, you're just wait, what? And what happens with that show, I'm sure everyone has either watched it or kind of knows something about it, because it's one of those shows it's been trending for a while. But it's about triplets, and they actually go back. They do flashbacks, and it's interesting because they do flashbacks that pertain to what's happening in the present, and they've even done flash forwards too.
Oh, wow.
So, it's just really interesting to, see how they, correlate everything of, what happens in the past to how that correlates to the future. Or, to the current.
I've heard about that show. One of our mutual friends was trying to get me to watch it, but I'm very stubborn. Maybe how you are with The Handmaid's Tale, where you're stubborn about it. I'm stubborn about shows. I got into The Handmaid's Tale because my friend Morgan, shout out to you, Morgan, my frenemy, she got me into it, and I'm so happy that she did. I love her for it. But at first I was like, I don't want to watch that show because I don't like watching new shows. I'm like, leave me alone. I don't want to watch anything. I don't watch anything. But I got into that, I'm glad I did, but I don't know.
It's like going out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, so this is us. I'm like, I don't feel like getting into a show
it's so good. Like you won't regret it. That's what I can say.
I might not even watch it, so I have nothing to regret.
Every episode gets better. Like and it's just the story builds and that's
The Handmaid's Tale.
Well, maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe I won't be so back about it. But the other one I can talk about too is A Million Little Things.
Oh, I think I've heard of it.
Also on Hulu, but I think most of these shows are all from ABC, like originally. Mm-hmm. I just happened to watch them on Hulu. But A Million Little Things is about someone who he had a lot of friends. He had a kid, wife, kids, all this stuff, and he committed suicide. And so after that, it's the aftermath of it all.
Oh yeah, I've seen
that.
The
tapes that he left and it's not. And thinking of tapes, it's not like 13 Reasons Why by any means. Just throwing it out there because I know 13 Reasons Why is really intense, and this one is too. But in a sense of it I don't know how to describe it. Even though it's a show, there are definitely elements in there that happen in real life.
Well, yeah.
So, I don't know. I just think that's really, there's someone that had cancer on it. There's someone, that had depression and attempted suicide.
Mm-hmm.
There's just different things that do happen. And so, I think it also raises a lot of awareness.
Man, your shows be down. I was about to go into, a jolly little show, but you know what?
Sorry.
I'm going to go into a show that's real life, too. It's called Hoarders.
Oh, no. I used to watch that show, too.
I watched that on YouTube, full episodes, and wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, these people got dead rats.
Oh, I know.
All kinds of stuff. Just hoarded. Not oh, your house is a little bit messy. Oh, I got this on the floor.
No, from top to bottom.
Top to bottom. And the most recent episode I just watched, she had, I think, 17 dead pets in the house. There were 2 cages. One of the cages had puppies in it. Dead.
Aww.
And then I was watching it and I was like, is that a dog? A dog skeleton laying in the dog bed in the cage. That dog died in the bed and deteriorated.
That's awful.
And my boyfriend was watching with me. He was like, that dog, that must have been there forever because it's down to the skeleton.
Ew.
And the lady was in so much denial. She had dead bird things. She had so many pets, and they were all in there dead. Mm-hmm. And obviously, they didn't all just die one day at the same time. It happened. Right. But I was like, imagine walking past it, right after the dog, passed. And you're walking past that every day. That smells, that stinks. And the puppies, there were puppies that were in another cage. And I'm like, those skeletons. So it was new for me seeing it on the show because you see people hoarding stuff. But that was one where it was oh, you got dead animals in here? And she really had to come to terms because she didn't want to talk about it. She was really in denial. Mm-hmm. And then she finally came to terms and apologized about it. But it was really sad because basically the animals probably got sick because of how nasty the house was. And they probably got neglected. And she probably just forgot about them. And then it just happened. But I love hoarders. And people are really interesting on there, and you can really see people have some issues. Yeah, I would say it usually is because they have so many mental health issues. Yeah, and that's how they portray themselves. And I like how the show does. There's always a backstory to someone died, something happened, and it's how they dealt with stuff. That reminds me of Queer Eye. I've never seen it, but I've heard of it. Didn't we watch? I thought maybe I showed you. That is one of the best shows. I got my cousin into it, Alyssa. Oh my gosh, she is obsessed with it now. But Queer Eye is on Netflix, and it's kind of not necessarily hoarders per se, but it's 5 gay guys, and they go to different people's houses and they revamp them. So they'll help them with their hair, they'll help them with their self-care, their food, their clothes, and then even so say depending on how the case is. There was one, I think it was a lady that was really involved in her church, and so they redid, I think, her church or something like that. So it just depends on what the person really needs and really is liking, I guess, and what their career is. Because some people, they do their homes, and they'll revamp their homes to make it look better and make it a better living space. I like shows like that where people go in fix stuff. Remember Extreme Makeover Home Edition? Yeah, I do. I was begging them to come. That bus. Yeah, I was begging them to come over and give me that room of my dreams where I had a little jungle in there. Oh, you know how they used to do? But when it comes to Queer Eye, I never seen it, but I heard of it in another show, which leads me on to The Office. Michael mentioned it in a show because he was trying to get out of saying something offensive.
Okay, so there was an old one. So this is a new one.
This is a new?
Yeah, so there used to be another one.
That has to be the one. Because that was an episode. You know,
The Office was a long time ago.
Yeah, it ended in 2009, I think?
Yeah, so that was the old one. And then this is the more recent one. Like, I think they first aired, I want to say, in, like, 2017, maybe.
Yeah, because when I heard that, I was like, we mentioned that. So I was like, has the show been on for so long, or is it something different?
Yeah, something different. But it's same kind of concept is what I've heard.
Yeah. But for those out there, you know, The Office is the best show.
Oh, we gotta talk about that.
I have so many shows I love. I said them to you. Good Doctor, Handmaid's Tale, Hoarders. But The Office is just...
Friends.
Okay, no,
Friends.
As you guys can hear, I'm talking about The Office, and she's gonna bring in her show that she's gonna get her time to talk about.
The best show ever.
She's gonna get her time to talk about it, but I'm gonna talk about The Office right now.
Anyway.
The Office is so funny. Steve Carell, John Krasinski, you know, these people. You know, what's his name who plays Dwight?
Michael?
Rainn Wilson.
Oh, I don't know.
How's his name, Michael?
She doesn't even
know a good. Michael is his name on the show.
Oh, that's all I know.
The Office is so funny. It's people in an office. And you would think the Office is so boring, but like it's just so funny. There's just so many different things that happen. And I would say that's my favorite show. I would say show series, but I think The Handmaid's Tale is my favorite show series. But I've watched The Office multiple times because that's a show that I can go back and watch like random episodes. Like I was starting season 3 because I like how that season is. And some people don't think Michael's funny, but Michael is funny. And in season 1, he was a little bit like meaner and not as like nice. And then I think the movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin came out and people really liked that movie and they saw how like they really liked how Steve Carell was. So the writers for The Office basically changed his character a little bit to like mimic kind of his character in The 40-Year-Old Virgin, and he was more likable. Because instead of being mean and just kind of just, not like mean, like evil mean, but just kind of like making jokes and just being, you know, he was more a jokester, he was more sympathetic, and it was awesome. But The Office is so great. It had 9 seasons, so it was 9 years. And Michael was gone by the 5th season, which for a lot of people that turned them off from the show. But it was still good, but like Michael was the best part of the show, and anyone who says otherwise is just very confused and they don't know good things in life. But I love that show so much, so if y'all can watch it, because I think they're taking it off of Netflix in 2021.
I don't know. They're also going to take Friends off.
Good.
I'm very sad.
Friends needs to be taken off, but I'll let her talk about it, but The Office needs to stay. Go ahead.
Anyways, the Friends. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Friends is my friend.
Oh my god.
It's just... Like, I didn't, honestly, I've only, when I came to college, I didn't really watch it, or I watched, like, here and there, you know?
Yeah.
But then, I think into my second year, like, after my first year of college, all my friends were watching it, so shout out to Milligan. I was like, you know what, let me just start this from start to finish. Mm-hmm. So I did. And then I kept texting everyone, I was like, what happens then? What happens this? And they were lying to me. They're so bad. They were like, oh, they don't end up together. And I'm like, wait, what? And then they did. And it was fine. But, I don't know. I just really like that show. Because for me, when I watch shows, sometimes I just want them to be mindless. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about anything. I just want to watch the show and laugh.
You like that show so much and I don't get it. Like, I watched it, like, kind of growing up. But I never... thought it was
See,
funny.
That's how I feel about The Office, though.
But you're wrong.
I can say you're wrong about The Office.
If you said it, it would just not be correct. The Office is great.
Oh my gosh.
It's just a treasure.
You know, Michael he doesn't like Office either.
He's wrong as well. You guys are two wrong people.
He does not like Friends either.
Oh, well, okay, then he's kind of right. No. There's something right that he's doing. Oh my goodness. Oh, an honorable mention that I won't really get too into, but Modern Family. I've always loved it. Everybody's really grown up on it. I don't like the fact that Haley got pregnant with twins from the boyfriend she's had forever, because a lot of people who have followed it more closer than I have, they basically said they thought they would like give her, like, let her character grow. But basically she got pregnant by the guy that was stupid and dumb and all this stuff like that, and now she has twins. And people were saying that the show is getting they're running out of things, so they did that. So maybe it's time for Modern Family to be off. But I always love that show. I think it's on ABC.
Another show, I like to binge watch shows. Like, that's one of my favorite things to do. I don't know about you.
I've done it. I've done a couple shows.
Oh, she came up with more things.
Yeah, I just thought about something.
But thinking about Netflix, I just finished a show called Insatiable.
What in the world?
And it was okay. I'm not gonna lie. The first couple episodes are a little cringeworthy. However, you get invested, and it's one of those it's a train wreck, but you still want to keep watching it.
Mm-hmm.
So because I watched the first season. I think it came out last year, maybe earlier this year. I forget. So I watched it, and then recently the second season came out, and so I watched it in a matter of a week.
Oh, so they come out and it's all on there?
Yeah, because it's a Netflix original.
Oh, I know. That's what Netflix does. On the topic of binge watching, Hey Arnold and Living Single. I think everyone knows what Hey Arnold is,
Hey
where
Arnold.
he had a football head.
Yes.
I'm not playing with y'all. I binge watched 5 seasons.
What?
I was going through a phase summer of 2018 where I even watched what is that show? It is some police show, but it's super Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I kind of binge watched that too, but I got sick of it because I didn't like it. But Hey Arnold, I literally watched nothing until I finished the entire series, 5 seasons.
Oh my
gosh. And Living Single is a great show.
I don't think I've watched that.
I think it's the late 80s or early 90s, but it's a group of Black American, people. They're all young, and they live in, where do they live? I'm gonna say New York. I could be lying, but I really love. I'm telling you, I binge watched Living Single.
Maybe our parents know.
There was nothing wrong with that show in my eyes. I might go home and watch it tonight.
That's funny.
But those are binge watch shows. I literally watched straight through because I was so obsessed with the next episode.
I also did that with Shameless. I really liked that show.
What is that about?
It's on HBO. Oh my gosh. That is a literal train wreck. It's a family of there's 6 kids. Yeah. And then the dad's drunk.
Oh my gosh.
The mom is a druggie, and they live in south side of Chicago.
So the kids hit the lottery.
Oh yeah. No, and it's just their daily struggles and what's going on in their lives because everything is messed up, and the older sister basically takes care of all the other younger kids.
Oh my goodness.
And she dedicates, but it's every season something is wrong with one of those kids, whether they're fighting, whether they're drinking, it is a literal train wreck every episode, but it makes you want to watch more.
Oh my goodness.
So I actually just started getting back into it because I binge watched it, I think through finals and stuff last semester, and then so now I'm on season 9, I think, right now, and I'm trying to just finish that because I don't know if it's 9 or 10 seasons. I think it's just 9.
Oh my goodness.
But it's definitely an investment if you really want to watch something that's a long series. Yeah. But yeah.
Speaking of train wrecks, here's another one, To Catch a Predator.
I never watched that
That
either.
show is the funniest show I've ever seen. And it's not funny because people are trying to predator on children, but it's funny because these guys walk in and really think they're going to meet some kid. And then here comes Chris Hansen talking about, take a seat. He was like, I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. It's so funny. And there's what is it called? Compilations. On YouTube of these predators getting caught and Chris Hansen coming out. And busting them. But that was a show I would watch on YouTube all the time. And even on TV, I think, when I was much younger. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, that show is just hilarious. Like I said, it's not funny because it's serious about what's going on. But the way Chris Hansen just comes out all serious and stuff. And one time, Chris Hansen actually busted someone that he knew. Someone that he had ridden the train with to work for years. And he was the guy was Chris. And he was trying to figure out where he knew him from. He's like, I know this guy because we used to ride the train together.
Oh my gosh.
Are you serious?
That's so sad.
But yeah, oh my goodness. That's my show. And then a show that everyone knows, Catfish.
Oh yeah.
I've been watching Catfish since the beginning, literally. I was watching an episode yesterday. And I also watched clips of it sometime. But I've been there since Catfish the movie. When that first came out on MTV. I never even
watched that.
That was when N.E.thing got Catfish. That's how it started, basically.
I guess I just never watched it. I don't know.
Yeah, and the name Catfish comes from, basically, N.E.thing was, catfished by this, 40-year-old woman. Mm-hmm. And I believe she was married, I think, because there was some man living with her. Mm-hmm. And the name Catfish comes from that guy, because there's, a clip where he's talking about something, and he's talking about, a catfish and this, but he's talking about catching something or whatever. And that is really where they got the name Catfish from. So people were always thought, I thought Catfish, because people think when they hear catfish, they know it means someone who pretends to be someone else online. Yeah. That's because of N.E.thing. Mm-hmm. And his brother who made the movie, and then he and Max like have the show. But N.E.thing got catfish and everything like that. Now he's married, has kids now, but Catfish the movie was popping because like you saw him on his journey to like go find the woman, like really trying to figure it out. It was
I think crazy. That like influenced us too. Going into it because of like going into dating and things like that. Because obviously in this modern world, people do date online all the time. Yeah. And so that I think helped with. I think it helped me too because I mean, anytime if I did meet anyone online, I'd always make sure like I would FaceTime them. Or like I mean, and most of the time it was people that were local anyways. Yeah. But you just never know. Like you always want to make sure, especially like so if anyone is on dating apps, like make sure you FaceTime them or make sure that you know. Like who you were speaking to, because it's not,
Yeah, and it's crazy because people are still getting catfish out here today. Mm-hmm. One of the tips they always say is, like, if they have a phone, nowadays, like, every phone has, like, a webcam. Now, some people still have flip phones because they still make them. They sure do. Yeah. But it's a rarity. And if they have Instagram, if they have a Snapchat, they can send you a video of their face. They can...
There's ways to do it. There's no excuse anymore, basically.
Yeah, because when it comes to catfish, you got people who knew someone for a year, 2 years. You got people who was catfish for 10 years. 10 years. They were talking to somebody in a relationship with them. Mm-hmm. And now there were episodes where people, like, they met and it was the person. Very rarely do they stay together. Because, it's different when you meet someone, you know? But sometimes they were, but sometimes it was someone else. Mm-hmm. One time there was a girl, and she went with her friend because her friend was getting to meet the guy. The guy turned out to be the friend's baby daddy. Oh. And the other friend thought that she was in on it. She's like, why would I be in on this with him? She's like, she was so angry. Mm-mm. And the friend ended up actually messing around with the baby daddy. And I'm like, you find out this is the father of your friend's children. Mm-hmm. And you're all mad at her because you think she has something to do with it, and you end up still being involved with him. Kind of craziness. But yeah, that's just catfish, and it's crazy.
That reminds me, going into talking about MTV shows.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm going to say next. I love my Teen Mom. That is my, like, guilty pleasure.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, it's amazing. Because I've been watching it since... it came out, basically, so we were, like, what, 12, 13?
Why were you watching Teen Mom at 12, 13?
Because they were trying to scare me. My parents.
Well, okay. That show is scary because they're a hot mess.
But yeah, I've been watching it since then. So I've been watching Teen Mom OG, Teen Mom 2, 16 and Pregnant. I think there was Teen Mom 3 for a little bit.
I know. Teen Mom. There's all these different names. Like,
well, because Teen Mom OG is what it sounds like. The OG moms. Yeah. But then... Now they've changed it up a little bit because, like, one person's off the show and, like, another person is, like...
Oh, I've heard about some of the drama with some of them.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of different things. So, like, they're trying to make changes. So, I think on Team Mom OG now, there's two new moms, one new mom. I don't know, something like that.
Are they teens?
Well, no, not anymore. Well, they were teens when they had children, but, like, they were either
How do you be a new member on Teen Mom and you're not even a teen?
No, listen. So, like... Say people from Teen Mom OG, and then you had Teen Mom 2 people. Yeah. And so some of the Teen Mom 2 people, they then put on Teen Mom OG. Oh. Or something like that. Like, it was, not all of them came like that, but, or like people, then they had another show called Young and Pregnant that just came out last year.
Oh, when I heard that title, I was like, what in the world?
Yeah, so then one or two people from Young and Pregnant are now on Teen Mom 2. If that makes sense.
Oh my, is anyone on that show, like, how do I explain it? Because I see a lot of drama. Together? Yeah, together. Like,
yeah. Well, there's
not with the kids that they're following, just like mentally and everything with their life. Oh, like it seems like there's a lot of craziness that goes on there. Especially when you put your life on TV and you grow up.
There's so much.
And some of them have kids in addition to the ones they had in the beginning.
Oh yeah, like there's there's at least 2 moms that have 3 kids from 3 different baby daddies.
Bye.
Oh and then there's a couple other ones. But then there's like a few...
No, we don't want to offend nobody out there if that's your situation. But my goodness.
That's just a few of their situations. But then like one of them, she had one kid, like the teen mom. And then she met her like Mr. Right basically. And now she has 2 more kids. But it's from him and they're married. They have cows, all this stuff.
Well, amen.
And then... What are the other ones? The other one that's been together since they started... is the one that they gave up their daughter for adoption.
Aww.
And when they were 16.
Oh, wow.
And then they ended up getting married later on, but now they have 2 little girls.
Like with each other?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's sad. I mean, they stayed together and had more kids.
Yeah. And, like, they have, like, an open adoption, but it's still, like, that child's not allowed to be on camera, is not allowed to be, like, involved in, which, I mean, I understand it, because obviously, when you sign up for adoption, it's hard as it is, but then let alone, like, let's bring cameras in, you know? So, yeah. I'm sure it's been hard for them, but even though I know it can be called trash TV.
Oh, my goodness.
And it can be at times. I'm not knocking, like, I know it can be. But there's something about watching other people's lives and other people's, like, problems that make you feel like, okay, my problems aren't that bad.
That's me in Love and Hip Hop Miami. That is the trashiest thing ever. And I actually wrote a review about the show. I wrote a couple reviews about different things in my review class in my senior year. And I think I ended by saying, and although I think the show is trash, I will be tuning into it next season. And they, you know, I don't watch the other Love and Hip Hop shows, but everybody knows by their names. They have drama. And I think I titled it, this should be called Love and Drama Miami or something.
It should be.
I love that review. It was a negative review. I like doing negative reviews for shows and movies. But it's just trash. Like, everyone seems unhappy. They got all this money. Nothing works yelling. For them. They're always breaking up, getting cheated on. Just all kind of
toxic relationships.
Yeah, just all this crazy stuff.
And it always cracks me up, especially like with Teen Mom when they talk about money, and I'm like, okay, but you're on a TV show and you're getting paid somehow from doing this. Like, why are you like talking about money as if like that's an issue?
Well, I mean, for some of these shows, you know, they're not really getting paid as much as people think that they are. Like, they're not rich, like, but some people get paid per episode. They're in a better position than I am. That's all I know.
Yeah, but that's so it's just interesting, I guess, to like, but maybe they're talking about before they get paid, so like it's a different story, you know?
And I'll talk about, like, let's talk about throwback shows. Like, I talked about Living Single, which was an old show, but I somehow got trapped into, like, the Flavor of Love, I Love New York. And it was all, actually, we'll just go into, like, our YouTube stuff that we watched. Because I watched all of these shows on YouTube. Basically, New York, Tiffany, what's her last name? Tiffany Pollard. She was
I just think of Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, that's a different Tiffany. She was on Flavor of Love, and everyone knows her as New York, as having, like, this personality where she just didn't care and whatever. So I haven't watched Flavor of Love yet, but I'm going to go watch it. But I watched her show, I Love New York, and then there was a spinoff from 2 brothers that were on her show called Real Chance of Love. So I watched both seasons of her show, because she got 2 seasons, and then I watched both seasons of their show, which is, you know, them, and there are 2 brothers in the house, so they have all these women, and then some are Real's girls and some are Chance's girls. And Real and Chance are their names that New York gave them on her show. And I watched their seasons, and that was, like, the OG of, like, dating shows, like, way back when.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
Or my coworker and I talked about Next. Do you remember that?
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. People would come off the bus and if they didn't like what they saw, they're like, next, even before you could even talk.
And then there was another one they were talking about. I don't know what the name of it was.
Parental Control?
Well, yeah, that too.
Oh my god.
But no, there was another one where, like, you would go into their, like, the person's room and, like, pick up items of, like, you would see, like, what their room looked like, and that would determine if you wanted to date them or not.
Oh, okay, so that's a good little swap into my show called Phone Swap. And it is on, guess what it's on? Guess what the show's on?
YouTube.
Nope. I know we went into YouTube, but this is a little swap because
TLC.
Nope, it's a Snapchat show.
What?
All of us basically have Snapchats. Even people who are older and that's younger people, right? If you guys swipe all over to those subscription stuff, there are shows on there. And there is a Snapchat show called Phone Swap. I'm subscribed. It has episodes. It has seasons.
That is so funny.
And basically, people meet. And, you know, basically, I guess they, like, match them by, like, how, like, who you say you're interested in. They meet and they go through each other's phones. So basically, they inform them after they meet, like, okay, you guys have to swap phones.
Yeah.
And they have it where it's set up that when you're on it, it's projects to a screen. So basically the person has to watch the other person go through their phone. And you know when people get someone's phone and they want to be nosy, they go through the pictures, they go through messages, they search in a certain word.
Right.
They go through they go to your social media, your messages to see who you're messaging. And people they're like cringing because they're looking through their pictures. Sometimes they find some, stuff in there.
Right.
They look at their messages. And it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I got to that show. I think I accidentally saw it one time and now I keep watching it. And then at the end of after they go through each other's phones, they basically send a text, if they want to go on another date.
Wow.
And it's crazy because people, your phone is your personal property, and you don't really want people in it. Even if you don't really have anything to hide, it's like, this is my phone, why are you in it? But some of the stuff that people have in there, I was like, I don't even have that in mind. But it's like a really interesting show, and just the fact that I watch a show that's on Snapchat is hilarious. And when you go from how Snapchat you can only be so long, so it's like that when you're watching it, it'll be going and then it'll do that jump and then continue. Yeah, so it's really funny because it's real Snapchatting. Yeah. But another YouTube. What's a YouTube thing that you're always watching?
So Michael and I watch. So it's called Achievement Hunter, and then they have different.
It's called the what?
Achievement Hunter.
Achievement Hunter. Oh.
That's the brands or the whole thing company. And then they have different brackets of some people are in Texas, some people are in San Francisco, some people are just different places. So one that we watch regularly is called Kind of Funny.
Oh my goodness.
They're based out of San Francisco. And so we, what they've been doing is they've been watching series. So they watch Toy Story. Now they're watching the Star Wars, all those movies. They're doing the Terminator. But basically they're watching all these movies and then they're reviewing them afterwards. So it's kind of fun because we've been watching the movies together and then we watch the reviews together.
And you showed me, I think, one of them.
Oh yeah, because we did Harry Potter.
Yeah, and I showed you everyone knows I love Harry Potter.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So it's kind of fun, and then they also have another show called KFAF. And it stands for Kind of Funny as yeah, and so
as Frick,
yeah,
Kind of Funny as Frick.
Anyways, but that one is it's so silly, and sometimes they annoy me, but they're really funny. One of the shows that we watched, they did Halloween candy. You know how you get different bags of Halloween candy depending on where you go, and they literally sat there and ranked what type of bags they got and did 1 through 10.
Tell me candy corn came
No, they didn't even do candy corn.
That's really disrespectful.
You know what the top was? I think it was Snickers. And then number 2 was Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Heath Bar. There's a few other ones that I can't think of. That sounds like a lot of
chocolate. What about the sweet stuff?
They did they had Nerds in there.
Jolly Ranchers?
They didn't have Jolly Ranchers.
What is wrong with this world?
But it was whatever was in the bags. And then whatever they thought was worthy enough to be on the table. Because obviously they had so many different options with the different bags that they had.
Yeah.
But I was mad that they had Snickers in front of Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Because hands down, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
I would say Snickers comes on top. So I would say
Reese's.
I would say.
Oh my gosh.
That's how I feel in my soul.
You would like. I feel like you would
Snickers
like that
even
show.
has they got ice cream for Reese's, right? And didn't they have Reese's cereal? Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs, peanut butter chocolate flavor.
Oh my god,
that was childhood. But they have Snickers ice cream bars.
What's that? The Cocoa Puffs. Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs.
Oh my gosh. Ooh, we should, those listening, maybe we'll talk about, our favorite cereals. And I don't really eat cereal anymore, but I still have my favorite cereals that are, they're my guiltiness, my guilty pleasure, as people call it.
But yeah, that's probably one of the YouTube things that we watch. And then my boyfriend also watches, it's called The Philip DeFranco Show.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. And he basically just goes through what's going on in the world. And he just he'll say all the facts that's going on, and then he'll kind of put his twist on it of how he feels about it. But then he'll also be like, just shout out your comments, whatever you think about it. I want to hear your voice, blah, blah, blah. And then he'll put all the links and bios and all that in there too. So I think it's cool because he goes through whatever's going on, and then he even follows up on stuff. So say things that happened 6 months ago, and now it's coming up again. Yeah. Then he'll kind of do a recap of what happened 6 months ago, and then continue on about the story.
That's nice, because that's a show that keeps people up to date.
Yeah.
And I like all these shows that we've talked about, but what I watch the most is YouTube, and that's what like we're on right now.
Mm-hmm.
I watch a lot of YouTube, and a lot of my YouTubers are people who talk about like current events.
Right.
And so one of my YouTubers, she talks about like celebrity stuff, and I really don't care about celebrity news, but I love her.
Right.
And she at least just keeps me updated on everything, and she does her research about everything. But a lot of my YouTubers like talk about new things that are happening, so I guess it keeps me up to date because I can't stay on the news like I used to. And I'm a journalism, major. I graduated, I have a degree in journalism, and I'm not keeping up with the news as much as I used to. But yeah, YouTube, I love YouTube. Like, I'm always on YouTube. Like, that's one thing. That's why when I went on my my cleanse in 2016, I kept YouTube, and I wasn't even on it that much, but I, like, when my YouTubers post, I watch their videos. Like, I have people who I follow.
See, I've never really been into that. Like, now I'm trying to be, like, and I think Michael's kind of helped me with that, too, of just watching other things. But I don't know, I just never really got
I guess it's easy because, like, I can just be on my phone. And on my phone, I have Hulu, I have Netflix. But, like, I don't always watch a show. I just watch a lot of clips. Like, I watch catfish clips. I watch all these random compilations, all this funny stuff.
I do, like, because obviously we all know I love Happy Planner. And
we do indeed.
Yes. And so sometimes I'll look that up on YouTube too and see like what are the new things that are coming out. That's kind of how I decided what I want for like my 2020 planner. Just to see all the different layouts and things.
Personally, I think Allie is a part of the Happy Planner cult, and I might have to call the police.
Hey,
or at least someone for an intervention.
Hey. Now, mind you, before this, guys, she had just said to me, I think I want to get a Happy Planner.
I did. I will not lie to the audience. I will not lie. But I don't want to be in a cult,
It's not a cult. It makes you happy.
I told her I'm thinking about it. She said, get it now. She's like, I think the store closes at... Something she was about to say about the store closing. Like,
hey, we still got time.
She was trying to get me in there now. I was like, I'll wait a little bit. Maybe I'll wait till the start of the year. You know, new year, new me. But I think it's a cult. She has other people in on it.
I even got my boss into it. Well, I didn't.
It's a cult.
I got her into like planning. She didn't get a Happy Planner per se.
Yeah.
But she did get like a type of planner.
You almost have her there though. You're over her shoulder making sure.
But she told me today, she was like, she's like, you inspired me to try and like be more organized. So then today I brought her some stickers and stuff.
Oh my! I'm telling you, she has a box literally right over here on the floor full of Happy Planner stuff.
Hey,
I'm scared.
when we go live, or not live, but when we go video, I'll have to show you guys what I do. Maybe that can be one of my little segments.
And that'll be cool, and that's how we'll end this episode right now, to tell you guys that we are trying to get on Spotify. We're trying to get on YouTube like visually so you can see us. And our podcast will be more interesting that way. They're still interesting now, but we'll be able to show you stuff that we're talking about. Like, Allie will be able to go through a Happy Planner, show you.
Yeah.
We'll be able to just show you.
Because we know a lot of people have been saying that they want to listen to us, but it's hard on YouTube. Yeah. Because then if you lock your phone, then it doesn't open.
Some people aren't elite like me who can be on other things on their phone and YouTube is still playing.
Whatever.
You know, Samsung Galaxy J7 2018 version.
Anyways.
But yeah, and then some people also want to listen to us while they're in the car, and then some people want to see us, you know?
Yeah. So we can just have different varieties of what people want. So.
Yeah, you know. So we show our faces. Don't try to come find us. Don't try to track us down. But yeah, we're gonna do some new things, and we'll also try to add new videos on the channel that are other things that are not technically the podcast.
We're also gonna try and have special guests, like basically our friends.
Yeah, and let them talk about stuff too.
Yeah, so that'll be upcoming the next couple weeks. I'd say for us to be on air or like. Video, we're aiming for November. Yeah. So the next
So definitely before the new year.
Yeah.
And definitely before, like, Christmas time.
Yep.
We want you guys to be able to see our faces and hear us in your cars. But let us know what you thought about this. We talked about a lot of shows. So hopefully you guys could follow. I watch more shows than I think I do. Same. Especially when it comes to, like, the YouTube stuff.
And this was, I didn't even do all of them, but that's okay.
There were some I was thinking of, and I was like, I can't throw all this at them, okay?
That's okay.
I was like, there's so much.
But with that, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like.
And hit the notification bell down below so you can get notifications for all of our videos and see whenever we post. Thank you!